Hi and welcome to Candyfloss Crochet. Today we're going to do this lovely ripple stitch. This sample here is in Stylecraft Special DK in fuchsia. All terms in this video are on UK terms, just so you know. What you will need is any DK. So I'm going to make mine in this one, which is Stylecraft Special DK Wisteria. And what I'm also going to be showing you is how to change colour. So here I've done 3 rows, but I'm going to show you after the second row how to change colour. And I'm going to use Stylecraft Special DK in cream, just so you can see the contrast between the two colours. I'm using a 4mm hook. You will also need a darning needle to sew in your ends, a stitch marker if you want to pause your work at any point, and some little scissors. Okay, so let's get started. Now with any stitch that you're using, you have to usually work it in multiples to make sure that you get the pattern repeat, to make sure that you get the ends exactly where you want them and they don't end at an awkward point. And for a ripple stitch, you always start off with a chain in multiples of 12 and then you add an extra 3. This is because those 3 are going to be using your turning chain, so hence why you need to have the extra 3. So if you want to get going, create your slip knot any way that you want to. And just for this sample, I'm going to do 24 chains and then I'm going to add on an extra 3. So for those that don't know, I'm sure most of you do, to work your chain, take your yarn over, so that's back to front, and pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. That's 3 chains that I've created there. Keep going until you get to 27 chains, so that's a multiple of 12, so 24 plus 3 for your turning chain, and join me when you get there. Okay, so you should have now a chain of 27, so that's multiples of 12, so 24 just for this sample size, and you can make it as any size that you want, as long as it's in multiples of 12, so 24 plus an extra 3 for your turning chain. Okay, what I mean by that is when you actually work your first stitch, I'll just show you on this one, when you work your first stitch, you always have a turning chain to start off with, which is right down here in the bottom. So let me just show you. You want to go into the 4th chain from your hook, so not this one doesn't count. This is number 1, 2, 3, and this one's 4. So you go in the 4th chain from the hook, and I'd like you to work a treble crochet, which in the US is a double crochet into that stitch. So 1, 2, 3, this is my 4th one. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And I want you to do that in the next 3 chains. So yarn over, insert into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, 3 loops on your hook there, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Next one, yarn over, insert into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we've got our turning chain, our first one, and now we need one more. So a set of 4 at the beginning there. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, now we want to form the dip in our work, and in order to form a dip we need to treble 2 together. So on a pattern you'll probably see this referred to as TR number 2 and then TOG, so treble 2 together. So remember, this is in UK terms. In American terms that will be a DC 2 together. Okay, so to do that, you yarn over, you insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over again, but this time go into the next chain, yarn over, pull through. I've now got 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2 of them, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. So as you can see there, the base of my stitches are in the 2 chains at the bottom here, but at the top I've only got 1 V for those 2, so I've crocheted 2 together. You need to do 2 sets of these. So the pattern repeat on this would be 3 trebles, 2 together, 2 together. So let's just go through that one again. So yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 3. So now I have crocheted 2 together twice, just to make it confusing. The next part of the pattern is 3 trebles again. So yarn over, insert into the next chain space, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then another treble into the next chain, and another treble into the next chain. Now we need to form the peak, and you can see we started to create a dip, and now we're working our way up to a peak, and we need to create a peak, and in order to do this we need to do an increase. So we're still working trebles, and the whole pattern is a treble crochet all the way through, but now we have to do an increase, and to do this we need to work into our next chain, so that's this one here, 2 trebles into that next one, and that's an increase. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1, and now I need to go back into that same chain space back in here. So yarn over, insert your hook back into the bottom of that chain space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now I have 2 trebles into 1 chain and 2 V's on the top. Now you need to do that again. So yarn over into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So that's 1, and then you're going back into the bottom of that chain, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we've got a definite curve. So from where we started, we've gone down in a dip, and we've now worked up to a curve, and now we need to form the part of the going back down the hill. So to do that, you're doing the same pattern repeat as before. You're doing 3 trebles in the next 3 chains. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and into the next one. So this is my second one, and into the next chain. That's my 3rd one. Now we're back to form a dip. We've gone down, back up, back down. Now we've got to form our dip. So that's where we treble 2 together. So yarn over, insert into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over, but now go into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, and yarn over and pull through the remaining 3. So I've crocheted 2 together, and repeat that. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and go into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull the remaining 3. So I form my next dip by having 2 sets of 2 together, back into the in-between pattern, which is 3 trebles, 1 in each of the next 3 chains. So that's 1, 2, and 3 trebles. There we go. We should have 1 chain left, and in that one you need to do an increase. So as you can see, I'm starting to get this nice wave pattern, but what you want it to do at each end is to turn up. You want this work at each end to end at exactly the same point, so you get nice straight edges on there. If your stitch count is out and you haven't got one left, you need to go back and see what you've missed out, because you would have either missed a stitch or added an extra stitch in, but you need to have that one left. And in that one left, you do an increase, which is 2 trebles into the last chain, and that will form a peak at the end. There we go. So that's row 1 done. And as I said, this one's quite a straightforward pattern. When you get to row 2, you're just repeating row 2 on and on. So in order to turn, you chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you turn your work. Now, okay, so we're now at row 2. You've chained your 3 and you've turned, and the very first stitch you're doing here is a treble, and what I want you to do is to put it into the base of the chain here. Okay, not into the next stitch. Move my yarn out of the way. Not this one, into the base here. So with this pattern, row 2 is your pattern repeat, and what I will do is write this down in the description box below, so that you've got it in writing. So if you find it easier to follow a written pattern, it might be easier to do that from this point on. But I'm just going to go through another row with you, and then when we get to the end of this row, I'm going to change colour so you can see exactly what it looks like when you have a ripple with a changing colour pattern, because I think that looks quite nice, and you want to do it at the end of a row to give it a more uniform look. So on this pattern repeat now, I want you to work a treble into the bottom of that chain. So going forward, you will always have a treble in there and then 3 trebles in the next 3 stitches. Okay, and when I say into the bottom of the chain, you need to pick up both the V's. So when you look at the top of your work there, you've got your lovely little V's, and when you're going in, let's turn that so you can see that better. You're going into both the V's here at the top of your stitch on every stitch going forward now. Okay, make sure you capture both loops when you go through. So yarn over, insert your hook into the bottom of that chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So standard treble, and do the same in the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. So I'm doing 1 treble in each one of those. And this is working our way down to our decrease, which will be our next stitch. Okay, there we go. So I've now got my turning chain, my treble into the bottom of my chain, 1, 2, 3 trebles. We're now, if you can see here, just coming up to the dip, and this is where I trebled 2 together on the previous round. So yarn over, you're doing 2 together, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again and insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on your hook now, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3, and do that again. So yarn over into the next stitch, and what you'll find on these ones that have been crocheted together, the V is slightly bigger, so it's a bit of a clue when you're going along. If the V's are normal size, then maybe you're not into the right stitch, but they're slightly bigger on the ones crocheted 2 together. So yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 remaining, yarn over, pull through all 3, and now on to our 3 trebles into the next 3 stitches. So this is number 1, 2 and 3. Oops, missed that one. There you go. Okay, so you can see that we've come along, down in our dip, and we're going up the other side. We now need to do an increase. So yarn over and work a treble into the next stitch, yarn over again and go back into that same stitch and work another treble. So an increase is just 2 stitches in 1. Okay, we need to do that twice. So yarn over, next stitch, and work a treble, and yarn over and work another treble into the same stitch. Now we're back to our pattern repeat of 3 trebles in the next 3 stitches. So as you can see, as you're going along, it's starting to ripple. One more. And we're back down into a decrease or a dip, and we need to do 2 together. So yarn over, I'll go through it again for you one more time. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops, yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on your hook now, yarn over, pull through the first 2, 3 loops left, yarn over and pull through all of those 3 loops. Need to do that one again. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops, yarn over, next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay, now you need to work 3 trebles to repeat our pattern into the next 3 stitches. That's 1, 2 and 3. Now you might think you've come to the end, but you've still got your turning chain. So let me lie that flat, it might be easier for you to see. So as you can see here, we've got our nice work coming down, back up and back down again, but we need to end on a high, and all we have left now is our turning chain from the previous round. You need to work an increase into that turning chain, so try not to put your stitch in here because it would just pull it. You need to go into these bits here, into the top of your turning chain. Okay, you need to do an increase, which is 2 trebles into the same stitch. So try and get in there, wiggle it in and work your first treble, and then you can see the hole now that I've created. Hopefully you can see that. So that's a stitch that I went into in the top of my turning chain, and I'm going to work another treble into there. Now when you get to this point, you've yarned over. Let me just show you that again. I'm going to change colour now. So I'm yarning over, I'm inserting, yarning over, pull through. I've got 3 loops on my hook. Okay, I'm going to drop my purpley wisteria, I think it's called, yarn, and I'm going to pick up a contrasting colour. Just, you can choose any colour you like. This, I'm going to use this Stylecraft Specialty Cane Cream, just so you can see the changing colour. I've dropped this yarn, but I've still got my 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to grab hold of the end of this yarn here, and I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to pinch it to try and hold it in place, pull through 2 like you would normally do on the stitch, and then pull through the last, yarn over and pull through the last 2. So I've now added my cream in, so I've still got the end for my wisteria there, just about see this end here from the bottom of my stitch, but I've now got the cream, and I'm going to carry on with the cream. So to turn, you chain in 3, 1, 2, 3, and you turn. Now at this point you can snip off the colour that you don't want. If you were changing every other row or every 2 rows, you could carry the yarn up, but what I find is that it doesn't work into the stitches very well, so unfortunately you do end up having to weave in your ends at the end of the work, which is why you have your darning needle. So let's do the pattern again. So if you remember, exactly the same, you're going to do your first treble into the bottom of that turning chain. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now you need to work 3 trebles again into the next 3 stitches. That's 1, 2, get some more yarn, 3. So at the beginning of each round you should have your turning chain and then 4 trebles, one of them being in the bottom of that turning chain. Just pull that a little bit tighter, keep that tension there. Now we're going to crochet 2 together. So yarn over, insert, into your next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, go into your next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on your hook, and yarn over and pull through all 3. Do the same again in the next one. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert into the next, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the 3 loops. So I've done my 2 together to form my dip. I'm going to do my 3 trebles. In the next 3 stitches. That's my 3rd one. I'm back at my peak and I'm doing an increase. So an increase is 2 trebles into the same stitch. So that's 1, 2 into that stitch. I'm going a little bit faster now, so I hope that's okay for you. 1, 2 into the next. So I've reached the top of my peak, I'm working down the other side, 3 trebles, you guessed it. 1, 2, oh, hang on, I'm going to do that one again because that didn't catch properly. This is number 2, number 3. We're back down to the bottom, so we started, our ripple is coming along nicely, and we're doing 2 together. So I'm just going to, as this one's a little bit more complicated, I'll do it again with you. So yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 4 loops, yarn over, pull through the first 2, 3 loops left, yarn over, pull through all 3. And then we're going to do the next one exactly the same, 2 together. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through those 3. Again, we're going to work along another 3 trebles into the next 3 stitches. 1, oops, my yarn's got in a knot, 2, and the last V is my 3rd. Now importantly, don't forget this turning chain. You always need to do your increase at the end. So into the top of that turning chain, I'm going to work 1 treble, same space for the 2nd treble, and that keeps those edges, as you can see there. Oh, let's flatten that out a bit so you can see it. Move all my ends. It keeps those edges working up nice and straight. So to turn, we're chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. We're turning our work, and we're working our first stitch into the bottom of that chain. It's a bit harder to see with cream, but you're working your first treble in there. You work your first treble into that one. Then you're working 3 trebles in the next 3 stitches. So this is your first one, second one, 3rd one, and then we're doing our dip, our decrease. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then work that into the next stitch again. Oh, sorry, I did a full treble there. Let me just go back and do that again. It's 3 trebles, working your way up to the increase. It's number 2. This is number 3. And then the increase is 2 trebles into one stitch and 2 trebles into the next stitch before you get back to your pattern. Repeat. So as you can see, it's starting to ripple up nicely. It gives a beautiful shape. What you can also do with this is then square it off if you wanted to. So depending on how big or what you're making, you can do this pattern for as wide as you want. Just bear in mind when you're working out blanket size to make sure you get the right width size, because the ripple obviously looks better in a portrait mode than rather than in a landscape. And keep working all the way along. So your pattern repeat is chain 3, treble into the bottom of the chain, then you're doing 3 trebles, a decrease which is 2 together, another decrease, 3 trebles, an increase which is 2 in the same stitch, 3 trebles back down, 2 decreases, 3 trebles, and in the very last stitch, which is always your turning chain. So make sure if you're struggling to find it, what you can do is when you create your turning chain, just put a stitch marker into that turning chain right at the top there, so you know that's the one that's going to have your 2 stitches in at the last. So once you go all the way along, if I put one in here, I would have one in the top of there, and that's the one I'm going to work into. When I come back along here, I know that I've got that one. So if you're struggling to get that nice straight edge, it's potentially because you haven't done your 2 increases in that turning chain that you have to do on every end. So I hope that's quite clear. I hope you understand it. I will put a written pattern in the description box below. But if you like this pattern, you want to see what else I do, and don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell for the notifications. Thank you for listening.